Hello, everyone, and we are live once again. Monday Night Live Chaser Chat. I'm here with Jayden Johnson,
The man, the myth, the legend. It is me.
the legend. Of course, being live, we have to take a few minutes for people to join in, and also it gives us an opportunity to share the link across all our platforms. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's talk about what was it? Friday in the Panhandle.
The Panhandle.
Friday in the Panhandle was interesting. And I'm also running on like an hour of sleep. We were out there. I was out there working. Drove back from Midland Sunday night to get here this morning, and just it's always go.
Yeah, definitely. I can't even remember which dates were which. I know there was one in the Panhandle. I think that was a slight risk, and then the day after, I believe that was Sunday or Saturday.
Saturday was the
moderate
outbreak.
Yeah, that was
where we had
I think
that,
they had
Witches
11
and
tornado
Happy.
reports? Yes,
something like that.
Saturday. Okay, I got it now. I can remember.
Every
My
storm
brain
produced.
is working.
Well, at around 7:30 p.m., between north of Dickens, and I don't recall the other town. I was on the tornado warned storm still, but it's I sent you the video. You can do what you want with it.
Yeah, I think I got it.
But I was in the hook, and that's with the lightning flashes.
Nice.
I mean, I couldn't really see if it was making contact with the ground because it was just pitch black out there.
You would have been lucky to see that, though.
But I was definitely in the notch right in front of it, and as soon as the winds hit me, and it started just dumping hail. So it could have just been a giant hail dump for all I know. But
I wouldn't have gone any further than you did to find out.
Oh, it was fun, man. Storm chasing is fun. You'll get it. You know what it's like? It's like when you go swimming, right? And you stick your toe in the water and you're like, ooh, it's cold, but it feels kind of good.
I've been doing
right?
that for a very long time. I would sit there and I'd be like, I guess I'll.
But then you get in, then
here.
next thing you know, you're waist deep and you're like, oh my God, here we go. I'm about to go swimming.
I remember, what was it? I remember the 2012 derecho. We were driving home, and it went from just overcast to pitch black. And I remember we were driving on I think it was near Naperville. I don't even know. I was like, see, told you my brain's not working. I was very
2012, man. Who remembers that year?
And it's always the small details I remember. We were driving past a hobby shop, and all of a sudden, just tons of rain pouring down. We had to pull over because we couldn't see. Drove home, power was out, flooding everywhere. As soon as it passed, beautiful sunset, and I've been hooked ever since. I have like a whole storage of like books on tornadoes, and I have like probably 100 to 200 books that I've been writing as a little kid about drawing tornadoes, stuff like that.
Oh, you got to share those, man.
Yeah, I got to find it. I know it's in this room somewhere because I found it a couple weeks ago. It may have been a couple months ago. Like, it's a huge box. I know it's obviously a cardboard box, and it's got like notebooks, stuff like that. I found maybe good 40% of them, but I know it's here somewhere.
So you've always been an artist.
I was gonna get into a career in writing, and I had I was in one of those books where they have the kids be taught by the writing teacher, and they'll collaborate all their books together, and they'll actually make a book. I have it right here. Hold on.
Yes, we get to see the book.
And I have like maybe 8 copies of this thing. Stories Made of Cookies. That was the title we came up with.
That's great.
And it's maybe...
Well, read us the book, man.
70 pages long. It was a horror story.
Oh, 70 pages. Okay. We're going to have to... You're going to have to send me screenshots of that. And then I'll recap it for everybody.
Now that I look at it, wow, I am so young. Ugh.
You are, dude. You make me feel old.
Oh, I know I'm going to be extremely young. I got to find this picture. I don't even want to look at it. Oh, no. Bringing back the young times.
Yeah. Let's see. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 17. I'll be 18 in September.
17. Oh, my God. Okay, so when I was 17, I was walking through 8 feet of snow barefoot, 10 miles.
Oh, see.
To school and back. And that's a true story. There's witnesses out there.
There's witnesses.
Dude, I've been intercepting weather for as long as I haven't had a vehicle on foot.
See, for me, as many times as I've gotten lucky, I'd say I was just in the right place at the right time. Haven't seen a tornado yet. Maybe seen a funnel. And I've seen some beautiful shows.
Yeah. Living in North Texas, my whole life, we've always had weather come through, right? And there's always a tornado warning somewhere. But, my experience was always like, you hear the sirens, you go hide in the closet, or you might go look out the window and see what's going on.
Step outside.
But my first tornado experience where it like destroyed the houses behind our house in the neighborhood behind, and that'll get your attention real quick. And so,
I actually live in the town of Plainfield, which was hit by an F5 in 90.
Yep.
And I found a satellite picture of my neighborhood, and I was thinking, there might be a little bit left. I'd say that's maybe F3. And that was the wrong street. That was 2 streets over. The street I was on was not a street. It was nothing. Where
your house is standing now, it was nothing. It was cleared by that tornado. Wow.
I call it one of those cursed properties because it was built in the same year.
It's like poltergeist.
You're
gonna have ghosts coming out of your TV.
And what was funny is that it had re-intensified to F5 on my street. It had barely scraped the river and just passed the Joliet Mall. And there were actually witnesses there because I wasn't born yet. And I think it was so HP that the lake is right here and the mall is right here. They could not see it behind the rain. That's how HP it was. And it wasn't even a couple hundred yards away. So nobody.
It's probably a wedge. If it cleared.
It looked like I was looking at the path. You can kind of see a little bit of scouring as it took the debris with it. And it looked kind of like a cone or I don't know the angle of where the helicopter took it at, but it may have been a wedge. It would have been nice. Oh, that does not sound right. It would have been interesting, to say the least, because you can't tell. It looks kind of like a cone or a stovepipe kind of path, but because nobody's ever seen it. There's no photographs of it. I know. I think a student at Illinois University or Joliet University had a video of the supercell maybe 30 minutes before it produced, but that's like the only sign of it ever existing. So
maybe I could find some images of it.
Yeah, you should be able to find some. I have some on my hard drive. I can send them to you later.
Interesting. I need to get better at fact checking myself here.
Oh, I am nowhere close to. That's because I've seen it like 80,000 times.
Screen sharing. But yeah, man, Sunday was pretty. Friday was pretty interesting out there.
How many did you catch?
I'm gonna say 0.
Ouch. At least you were out there. You saw something at least.
In the dark, it's really hard, especially out there. There's no lights, man. If you turn off your headlights, you can't see your hand in front of your face. It's just pitch black. And with the dust blowing,
if you get stuck in the mud, it's over.
Well, my truck is pretty good, and I got new tires on there. I mean, I say that, but everybody and their mother got stuck on Saturday.
Were the storms HP where you were, or no?
Yeah, man, they caused some pretty substantial flooding. I know a couple chasers got car damage from being stuck in floodwaters.
Dang, I know.
They had to bail on it.
There was one chaser on I think it was channel was Live Storms Media. They got hit by that those car garages that you build.
Oh, dude, I saw that. Did the van get rolled?
I don't think it got rolled, but I know he's obviously okay because he had he wrote the description in the video, but he was focusing on the tornado on his right. I'm just gonna be honest, he should have been paying attention because that thing was too large not to see. And I'm pretty sure he was looking at his lens while he was driving. So just saying.
I saw it once, so I didn't analyze it. But all I know is I was looking, and you see the circulation pass on the road.
Yeah.
And then you see that
a heart attack.
What? I flinched. I'm looking at the tube of my cell phone, and I'm flinching.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was intense, man. And then you just see it like you see the motion of either the phone mount or whatever. But it seemed to me like
it came off and it fell in his lap as he was trying to get control of the vehicle because it landed right on the windshield. I was like, Jesus Christ.
My experience with something like that was May 10th, 2010.
That date sounds familiar.
Multi-vortex. I mean, it was brief, but man, when it was in the multi-vortex stage, there was just vortices flying across the road, 50 mile an hour plus, and like there was cars in front of me that all I could see is their glass just.
While the vortex. You gotta be careful on those things, or they'll come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're lucky they didn't get rolled. So then, we just all hammered down and went down the road.
There was some chasers. Either it was Saturday or Sunday. They got caught in a anticyclonic tornado came up behind them, and they had to take shelter in their vehicle. So you got to be careful because those things come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention. Like when I'm driving, I'm paying attention to the road, and if I have my cameras running, I just let them run. I don't need to babysit them; they're just running.
I'm thinking of getting like a mount when I get my vehicle. Have a camera here facing out the window, one facing me, one maybe mount on like a tripod facing that window. Blah blah blah. Or if I just have the same base plate and just strap them to the side of the car, something like that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, all mine are just facing out. I don't know that anybody wants to see me going, freaking out. Maybe it makes for good entertainment, but it's cringy for me to watch myself scared to death or not. Or
I gotta force myself to get used to it because I'll do. I still haven't even started on the moderate analysis because I'm too self-conscious about my voice. It sounds so weird.
No, it's good, man. You should have narrated that one thing that you sent me.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you would have. It sounds fine. Or you could always tweak it, and you could raise the pitch, lower the pitch.
Yeah, I've been using this is just nerd stuff. I've been using like a voice enhancer. You could have it like it can focus like a male, female, or it can merge into like a music, so it'll overlap against the music, so it'll be more listenable. That's not even a word. But
listenable is in the Webster's dictionary. I mean, if they added supposedly, did you see that? Have you seen that?
Supposedly.
I
don't even remember the last time I used that word, so you probably
supposedly is in the dictionary now? What? Like what?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a story I read yesterday that supposedly is now in the Webster's.
And it sounds so close to supposedly.
Can you not say supposedly? Like what? It's the same word.
Because listening to you, I know what you're talking about, but it sounds like you're saying supposedly. I'm getting mixed up with it now.
It's infuriating. It's like irregardless. It's like,
and you never hear. I kind of get irregardless, but you don't just say that normally in a
it's
everyday
like
conversation.
You're just trying to say a word at that point. Let's see. I can't find the story, man. But there's a lot of good stuff. I have this thing on my phone that just feeds me news stories, you know, of what interests me and not so much bombards me with like random stuff like
as soon as you get recommended stuff, it just goes quite out the window.
politics.
90% of the time, it's not. I can't even focus on politics. It would drive me nuts.
And there's people out there that focus on it like we focus on like content creation like you or storm chasing. It's like
I would have went nuts. I would have just drove myself into an F5. Can't be me.
Yeah, a lot of good stories. Apparently, scientists are stunned to discover that plants are growing beneath a mile-deep Greenland ice sheet. Go figure.
What?
Jurassic Park says life finds a way.
Never heard of that. That's weird.
Yep.
Nature's weird in general, but
Nature, it's entropy, man. It's all entropy. Everything is chaos.
Chaos yet beautiful, or just chaos.
Do you have a drone? You don't have a drone, do you?
I have one of those old ones. Like I got to save up for it first. It was one of those plastic ones. And it has a camera on it, but I haven't gotten it on my app yet. And the first time I flew it, I actually got a picture of it. First time I flew it, I crashed twice.
Yeah, that'll happen when you're new to flying. One of my first drones that I had, I flew it right into the Pensacola Bay.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'm
and it's funny.
Pretty sure you didn't get that back.
Yeah, no, I got it. I went out there and got it.
Oh, you went out there and got it?
People saw me. Yeah, it like went out there, lost connection, and it just sank in the water. And then
as soon as it loses connection, it'll auto land. And
Well, this one didn't have auto land. It was just a manual flight quadcopter.
Really?
Yeah, with a camera. So I was flying it out there manually, and like the range on it was like 300 feet. That's all I had.
300
That's all I had to work
feet.
With.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm 200 feet out, and I'm like, yeah, boy.
That is hilarious.
And it went in the drink, sank. I gave it full throttle. It came up, but then like it started slushing because it like inundated itself with water.
Mine is.
And it just.
I haven't even used it since summer. Mine is maybe.
Burial, let's see.
A couple hundred feet. Burial, let's see.
Yeah, but the Mavic I have now is just bananas.
I really you do not understand how much I want a Mavic.
Dude.
I don't got the Mavic Doe at the moment.
Oh,
but,
you know what I got last night from Midland? There was because you know how we had the storms that were running through that were creating all the freaking tornadoes Saturday on what's Sunday? We had just some pop-up storms pop up in Midland before I left, and a little miniature haboob went through town. But since I was working, people are outside. They're like, "There's a dust storm coming." So I'm like, "Let me grab my drone." Went out there, and I got me some really nice footage that I'll release later. But I'll show you guys the little clip here. Hold on. Here we go. There we go.
I can kind of see it in the distance. Yeah. Look at that quality.
4K, right through the center of downtown.
It looks like 4K 30 frames per second. Either
it's
that
4K
or 60.
30. It's 30.
Oh, right on the money.
It
good for me. Dude, that looks so good. And I've heard they're great in the wind as well.
Yeah, the winds here were about 20 miles per hour sustained. Because I have I always carry my anemometer with me.
Because I know the Phantom, the big white one, Phantom 4, they don't do well in the wind because there's too much surface area. And
I used to have a ghost drone that could take like 50 miles an hour. That thing was a tank.
50?
Yeah.
How big was it?
It was huge, man. It was about as.
Dang.
I mean, my Mavic is as big as a little bit bigger than the cell phone. But the here I am. Woo-hoo. But my the other one was like maybe 2 feet wide. The propellers were upside down.
Dang. What was the case like? Or did it even come with one?
solid.
Was
The
it one of
case,
those kind of like Pelican-like cases where you
it
can't
was a
really
backpack,
carry it
dude.
with you on
It would
vacation?
fill up. I have a Targus hard shell backpack, and it took up the entire
Ah,
Targus hard shell backpack.
dang.
Yeah,
See, with a Mavic, it's better because it's smaller and you don't gotta
yeah.
take up that much space.
And it was FPV, so
Ooh, I was about to
you
say
could
that has to be FPV if it's going that fast.
you could fly it with goggles, man. Just be immersed in the flight. Ever since my first FPV flight, I really don't want to buy any other drone that doesn't have that ability, because it's so freeing, especially when you don't have to rely on the controller to fly.
Yeah,
Which is why I like the new DJI FPV drone, because you have the fly-by-wire stick.
I think I've heard of that.
And so, I used to play a lot of flight sims, and just flying like you should fly. Why not fly by wire? Like that's perfect.
Yeah, it makes
But
sense
it
though,
had,
to be honest.
yeah, and so I could fly the drone just by, like, if I looked left, it would fly left. If I look everywhere I would look, it would fly. So it just took the controller out of it. Period.
That makes much more sense.
Never crashed it. I loved it.
How much was it?
Brand new, I think it was like $800.
Wow,
Now you can get them on Amazon for about $100.
that is a steal right there.
Yeah. I saw one the other day, and I was telling Shannon, I was like, I'm gonna get that drone again just so I can, because
For
the
memories.
Mavic only withstands about 30 miles an hour before you risk losing it or risk a flyaway,
Mm-hmm.
But
That's one of my worst fears: either losing connection or fly away.
but I went into the hobby shop the other day, and they had a freaking a model of an A10 Warthog, and they also had
Really?
a one of those Spitfires, and man, I think I could fly one of those into a tornado
I
just
would
once, because
imagine.
then the FAA would have my butt in a vice after that.
Oh yeah. As soon as you upload the footage, you'll be getting a call. How did I get this number? Like, yeah, we need to talk. We
We
saw
need
your
your flight
footage.
logs now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember anything.
Well, also my flight logs are all screwed up too, because I use my drone as a webcam because it's high quality,
Ah,
and it gives you
I've
the
heard people
ability
do
to,
that.
yeah. So, and it gives you the ability to live stream from it, right? And so, yeah, I'll put it on. I know I got a million batteries for it. So one of the batteries, I did all the testing on. One battery will give me an hour of live streaming.
Wow. I have a dummy battery here, and I bought 2 replacements. This isn't even the right battery. 2 replacements. So I think these go maybe 2 hours each.
Yeah, for your camera, yeah.
And I'm trying to get a one for my GoPro so I can, record in 4K and such. Right, I got to get a mini HDMI for that to work. So I'm waiting on that. But I've heard it's a great idea. You can even use your phone as a live stream thing, though I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, you just live stream it, go for it. But I'll use my phone to hotspot everything else. I use a separate phone to go live with the drone, and in case, like, it's on the dash, but I have the ability to just take the drone off the dash and just stick it out the window, and it's in the air without having to cut the live stream, which is
Wow.
Which, if you're a content creator, losing that audience is huge. You don't want to have to cut them off,
Yeah.
and have to bring them back. And I feel like the logistics of that, the only solution was don't cut them off.
There's a certain amount of time where they won't even tune in anymore.
Yeah.
Especially
2
if that
minutes.
keeps happening.
If it doesn't have the music, oh no, oh no, oh no, in less than 30 seconds, you're not gonna get
Panic.
Yeah.
Doesn't catch your attention in a split second. You're gone.
Like TikTok,
Outta
man.
here.
Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok. I haven't uploaded in a while though.
You would be popular on there, man. Big time.
How many followers do I have? Let's see.
Well, between everybody who likes your content now, and
I'm trying to switch over. Not switch over, but kind of. I'm currently uploading like I have a Twitter media studio because I guess they deem me as a media company.
Oh, cool.
And it kind of logs every tweet I've made. And it's not like a whole thing where Morgan's saying I need a TikTok. I'll think about getting back into it.
You need it, man.
And it's not hard to get popular. I've seen the trending mostly.
I've seen that other meme that you made with the little DVD screen thing that hits the corner perfectly in that bar. But you made it. I've seen it pop up in places where I'm like, oh my god, dude, that thing got some reach.
I have 57 followers and 373 likes, and I haven't posted since the last day of 2020.
Yeah, my channel is sad because I started it, and then all I was getting was like violence and murder and stuff on my TikTok, and so I just deleted it for about a year almost.
Because my humor is equivalent to a walnut. Like, and you won't even believe it. Somebody posted a picture on Twitter, and it literally said "the," and I couldn't even. I'm laughing at it now. But if you think about it, it's not even funny.
It's hilarious, man.
And
what was I laughing at the other day? An egg. You follow Egg, the egg?
Yeah, JohnsonWx.
Okay, everything I see that he freaking posts, I see it as the egg telling me this, and it makes me laugh so hard.
Hayden, I think it's JohnsonWx. He posts a lot of. I see him in a lot of replies, and he posts like the dumbest stuff.
It's hilarious, man. It's like objective, introspective,
straight to the point. It's not even like.
It's brilliant, is what it is.
It's brilliant. It's not even unique. I'm not even going to call it unique. It's just basic to where it's perfect.
Yeah, and so for y'all that don't know, and if you're part of the weather community, I know some people hate that word. Some people are okay with it, but it's a lot of great folks, man, and this kid is one of them.
Especially StormChaser Nick. He is hilarious.
We have a feud, Nick and I, so we won't speak of it.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That's Egg Weather, man. Give Egg a follow. This guy will brighten your day with some funny.
I have him on Discord too. He says this dumbest stuff.
I don't have Discord, man, because I'm old again. But
you gotta get it, dude.
Hilarious. I keep on wanting to start one, man. I want to start, but my humor is dark and sad.
You don't have to create a Discord server or TikTok. Like I'm on TikTok, baby, every day, just looking at like the dumbest stuff.
Yeah. Who's good on TikTok? There's Melanie Metz. If you don't follow Melanie Metz on TikTok, you're missing out. Who else?
Tornado Titans is on TikTok. I don't think Tornado Trackers is.
No, there's another one. Stephen Jones, man. Follow Stephen Jones on TikTok.
I meant to do that earlier.
Stephen Jones is insane. Not insane
right now.
I mean, his footage is great, man. He gets the greatest footage.
He has great cinematography.
I finally met him during Hurricane Laura.
Yeah, I saw a lot of chasers met up on Laura. What was this TikTok?
Stephen Jones.
Steven.
Yeah, we were staying at the same hotel. We left at the same time to go catch those rain bands and that eye. And then met up with Tornado Trackers also.
Their documentary on Laura was really good. Amazing. Yeah. And they were done with it with like 2 days after it happened. I'm like, dang. It was speed running editing. That would have took me a couple weeks, maybe a month and a half to do that.
I haven't even finished rendering the footage from Friday. from that slight risk. I'm so mad I couldn't. You know, I had 2 days to pick, right? And I'm like, oh, I can go Saturday, but if I go Saturday, I miss out making a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And if I go Friday, I I don't make. I still make money, but I don't make a lot.
You miss out on the day. Because we called the slight risk the day before the day. To be honest.
Yeah, that was the day before the day.
And if I were to chase, I probably would have targeted Childress, but knowing me, I'm not as experienced yet. I probably would have been behind Happy in the long line of Chaser convergence.
Well, Childress was a good play, but for late in the day. Like if you were gonna get off work late or you're just gonna be late to the party, Childress was a good play. But early in the day, you had to be first.
If you waited long enough, yeah.
For the rest. And my play was I was trying to play the 2 supercells that were going to merge near Floydada, I think it was.
I think, yeah.
And I was like, well, they're both in prime environment, and one of them had already produced. So my thought was, I'm gonna give me some twins. I'm gonna plant myself right in between both of them. And if I don't get twins, I'll at least get
something.
Tail End Charlie.
See, that's where the real magic comes in. Tail End Charlie's. Look at that.
Out. But that's like a split second before the northern one.
Big hail core on Petersburg.
Yeah, and I didn't. And the road network was just north, south, and east, west, or clay roads that you weren't going to make it out of.
Oh yeah, I know. The man, the myth, the legend, Michael Martz got stuck in the mud, and he ran on foot to intercept.
I saw that video. I would have done that too. I got a special helmet just for that. Y'all will see it later in the season. Don't you worry.
Helmet reveal.
Look at my pinned tweet. Look at my pinned tweet.
Oh, I think I saw that. Hold on, let me go back to it.
When I'm chasing, I think that was Hurricane Zeta.
Yeah. It says it was in. I should have turned my volume down. Loud.
Yeah.
It was in New Orleans, I think. He do be intercepted in a cape, though.
Yeah, I got, I tried to place myself where I wasn't going to get pelted by debris. I felt I was far enough from structures and signs and stuff, but nope, I wasn't.
Flying shrapnel and debris probably doesn't feel good on the human body.
Yeah, but I was wearing a helmet and I have pads on and stuff, so. Craziness. But so this year, man, so what do you got for us? What's next?
Well,
I haven't seen anything that you posted lately because you were supposed to come out with a meme this morning, but I just haven't been on.
Yeah, I just posted that. Maybe I actually got to check back on it. Maybe a good hour.
Let me go check on that right now. Let me make myself. Let me do it. Let's do a reaction. I'll do a live reaction right here.
It's close to because I was planning on having it out last night, but I always got to find something else to add to it, and it just extends the time. And it took
You're your own worst critic. But I feel the same way, man. There's a lot of content that I create, and I'll show it to people, or I'll send it through Messenger, and I'll be like, hey, what do you think? And everybody will love it, and then I'll be like, nah, it's trash.
Yeah,
and I just won't release it.
I was working on a meme during the moderate, and there was a good maybe hour and a half where there was tons of fog, and I never even finished it because it involved rotoscoping, which basically is like if I were to move my hands around, it would be kind of like a green screen, and that took forever, so I didn't even bother with it. And that's when the storm started firing, so. But yeah, I'm kind of proud to say that a good 90% of the stuff I work on gets out. And a lot of the big stuff, like the the 5/24, May 24, 2011 analysis. Haven't even started on it yet.
Oh, it's a
And
good video, man. I'm
I
liking this a
posted
lot.
that
I'm liking this
teaser
a lot.
a while ago. I can hear it over your mic.
It's all your keyframes. That's insane, man. Look at that.
I know. I had to cut it multiple times, and that worked out really well.
Dang. Maybe I'll see myself in one of them one day.
You mean eventually?
Roast me, please.
Hmm.
I gave it a like, and I'm gonna share it because it's awesome.
It is, if I do say so myself. I would say that's one of my best ones.
It's refreshing, man. It's refreshing because you know what? I mean, all the memes you ever see are stills.
Yeah,
but,
they're always
I mean,
stills.
They're always of like one chaser or one.
It's like those Facebook memes where it's like a minion, and it's like the caption is like, "Oh, I got up this morning," and then it talks about eating carbs or something like that.
Yeah, but and then your editing style is like kind of like people's internal dialogue.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like you're going through and you're like, oh yeah, look at that numbers, because we're weird like that.
I actually I thought of the song, and because I had I think it was the first day of 2021. And I was already starting to work on the first version of it. I don't even know where that is. That's probably buried somewhere deep in my hard drive. And this is actually the second version, which was done in like maybe a day and a half because I did it overnight. So I'd say it worked out pretty well. And I was trying to think of a song, and it just popped. I was like, you know what? We'll pick Heads Will Roll. And then I looked up a remix, and it just popped together. I cut to the beat, and it just worked out perfectly.
I'm surprised it doesn't get flagged by the music police.
See, that's why I don't post it on YouTube as much, because immediately it'll get flagged. I did a movie reaction on Into the Storm and Day After Tomorrow, flagged immediately. I did a copyright dispute. Into the Storm, they allowed it up, and then Day After Tomorrow, they took like 8 days, so I just re-uploaded it, and they allowed it. I was like, what was the point then?
Yeah, Facebook does that.
It's blatantly fair use. So they're weird like that, and I expect issues like that in the future. So
they do that with radio music, and it's like, okay, it's blasting over the radio. I have no control over it, and it's free it's in the air, dude. It's in space. Yeah. Like,
and I get Facebook that if they let one person slide with something like an issue like that, they'll lose tons of money because everybody will be accidentally doing it. But it's like, still, come on now. It gets ridiculous.
In this digital age, if we, you know what it's akin to? It's like back in the day when we had cassette tapes, and we would pop that cassette in there, hit record, rip the song off the radio, and then share it to all our friends, right? Mm-hmm. That's how we old people do it. We cassette tapes. But yeah.
And nowadays, it's kind of like either it's you got to pay tons of money to use like a second of it, or they'll claim it, and everybody knows what the song is. Everybody's either bought it to listen to on CD or Apple Music or whatever. Everybody knows what the song is. Why should we have to, even if I already give credit, why?
So here's a trick I've been using. When I make a video that I put music on that I know, and I'm gonna get myself in trouble, but I don't care. Y'all use this, and let's break the internet. The little TikTok logo that they put on your TikToks, it won't flag it if that logo's on there.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
Good.
all the stuff that I've been posting lately with music, you know, I'll put the little TikTok logo in there somewhere, and
Make it super small.
and it will not get flagged. Yep.
I've been I remember when I was doing old gaming videos, I would use the StormChaser soundtrack, and it would get flagged every single time, and I didn't care. I'm waiting for them to knock on my door and just slap me in cuffs. I'm not earning any revenue from it.
Jayden Johnson? Yes.
You know what we're here for. Get in the back of the car.
Put him up. So you know, what's your logo, man? You need decals. You need T-shirts. Like, how are you gonna monetize this?
I have not come up with one yet. The most I've had is the JohnsonWx on the thing. And to be honest, I'm starting to come up with that because I know eventually somebody's gonna come along and try to steal it and pass it off as their own. Speaking of which, I got a ton of backlash back during Laura because I made a fan-made trailer for Laura. Use Reed's footage. I use Josh Morgan's footage. Use news footage. And back in the day, I thought...
Did you ask him, though?
No.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I thought back in the day, if you just use it and either you give credit or if you're not monetizing it, it was automatically okay and you're exempt from all consequences. They were like, no.
I could tell you a story about that. It's hilarious. They'll kill you.
But everything ended up perfectly. But I was pretty close to a lawsuit. I was freaking
People are serious, man. People are serious.
I started getting comments, and I'm like, man, they're just criticizing me because they think it's really good. So I was kind of arrogant, and I was kind of pushing back. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is my fault. But,
sometimes you just gotta admit fault and do it anyway.
Because I still gotta work on, like, sometimes if I'll get angry or I see something on Twitter that's stupid or related to weather or something that I don't like, I'll quote tweet it or I'll respond to it and not even think about it. And then when I think about it, I'm like, okay, you should have calmed down a little bit. That was kind of unnecessary.
I'll write stuff that I want to tweet out or put on my Facebook right now. I'll write it down. If I come back to it in an hour and it still makes me laugh and it still doesn't make me cringe, it's going on. It's going live. But if I come back to it, I'm like, ooh, dude, you should have ate a Snickers before you were gonna say that.
Yeah. You just gotta think about it before you tweet it out.
But why though? Why do you have to change who you are because it's going to get offended? You know what I mean? I get it. You have to do that on social media nowadays because you don't want to offend your audience, right? But at the same time, can you be yourself?
During Ada, when it was heading for the coast, I made a kind of a darkish meme where I was like, "Get Ada'd," because it was incredibly strong. So basically, it was kind of like, "Oh, if you're in the path, you're done for." And luckily,
but then somebody's gonna come back with like, "My house was Ada'd. Do you think that's funny?"
Yeah.
Well,
somebody was like, "Oh, this is in bad taste." And it was 2 or 3 comments, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna delete this before this gets out really large." So, and I'm trying to not make like Dixie. I'm not gonna make a meme on that unless something comedic, like blatant comedic, comes out on it, because but I mean, it's affecting people. But the way I think of it, it's like Pecos Hank says, you're excited for the chance of seeing, like, a high risk chance of seeing tornadoes, but not a high risk of the population being affected. I kind of focus on the tornadic version, and that's what people don't understand.
And it's gonna do what it's gonna do, regardless of whether you're there or not.
That's what I was thinking, and it was like, even if you say that, like, even if I say, "Oh, well, it's gonna do the same thing anyway, so who cares?" That's not gonna fly. So
but there's a line though. I mean, you could say, but I don't know, man. Just destruction just isn't funny to a lot of folks, especially when they have firsthand experience of death or destruction. It's not.
Not gonna lie. Wait, not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing some old abandoned farm get blown to pieces, but never, a huge neighborhood or a town or something. Like even now, people are like,
yes,
oh, let's have Wednesday go high risk. Ugh,
no. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants
that. Saturday, maybe high risk, because not really a lot of stuff out there. A lot of tornadoes are in the middle of the field, missing stuff. I think the highest so far was EF2. Yeah. So I'm glad, especially Happy Texas was probably on radar the most violent I've seen since Bassfield. I used VROT on one of my panels on GR2, maxed out multiple times in like a span of 5 minutes. The most violent I've ever seen. Then it started ingesting its twin in its RFD. It was sucking the forward flank into its RFD. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It almost looked like an MCV on.
Yeah, it did. I was like, wow. I've never seen it before.
And then you mentioned anticyclonic earlier. I went back and I was looking at some of the radar grabs, and yeah, dude, you can see those anticyclonic spin-ups all the way up the line.
They were going too. They were strong.
Good stuff, man. What do you pick? When you're out there? Every storm is producing, and you gotta latch onto one because you can't just hop between all of them.
Because you're gonna waste a ton of time, you gotta commit to one too.
Yeah, man. Road out there sucks. I mean, it's still early though, man. It's March. Yeah. Once we get into later in the season, we get.
Shoot, the fact we get them up moderate in March was interesting. I know last year we had a moderate January 10th.
I was talking about that. I don't think
anything. I'm not sure.
I could remember one in recent history where it was moderate that early.
I know.
But somebody could fact check me on that.
December 31st was enhanced in Lake Charles, and hold on. Wasn't enhanced in Lake Charles, and we had no reports at all. So it's weird. But
and then this daylight savings.
Now that late March is coming up, I'm not surprised that we're starting to get some significant events, especially Dixie. Ooh, that's going to be interesting.
It always starts off that way. Yeah. It always starts off that way. I've got some good... I've always had some good adventures in Dixie. I got my birthday tornado in Dixie. When's your birthday, Jayden?
September 13th, 2003.
You could have a birthday tornado of your own.
I'm excited for it, to say the least. This year, since I'm probably going to be couch chasing most of the time, I may get lucky, maybe snag a funnel or something. But this year, I'm kind of targeting towards structure. Because structure and at-home live streaming events and such. Because I know I got hit by the derecho August 10th. That was like, besides the power going out for like a week, that was probably the event of the year. Because 328, Lord, busted horribly. I'm glad it did, because the her model had like multiple strong supercells going right over me. So... No, August 10th.
And it's fairly accurate the day of, too.
Yeah. And it just would not back down. I don't think I've seen STB. I forget how high they were. But those were like the high, like they went off the charts.
Maxed out.
It's like, geez Louise. I know August 10th, I woke up and it was a thunderstorm risk. Went out for a walk, came back. It was a slight, I'm like, we'll get some rain. Get back in the house. It's freaking enhanced and it goes up to moderate. I'm like, okay. I think that was the only time I was in a 45 sig, at least in recent memory. The thing was insane.
So, can your parents not drive you out there? Like, can you not be like, hey, let's go to the grocery store? Or, can you not trick them into...
Because my main concern is hail. I'm not trying to lose a vehicle
Oh,
with a
absolutely.
baseball-sized tail, but you got to be careful.
But you don't have to be. You don't like
Have
if
to
you're
be
going
that
for
close.
structure.
Yeah.
If you're going for structure and you're going to get the wide angle of the storm, you're not going to see any hail, brother.
Yeah.
You're going to be enjoying
that's just
the sunshine.
theoretically if we're punching straight in trying to see a tornado or something, which I doubt. But
No, you'll never do that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I say that, but core punching is just a shortcut, I call it, to the north side of the wall cloud or the hook.
I think of it as you haven't seen much during the storm, and you're like, screw it, I'm core punching, see if I can see something. I think of it that
But
way.
also the radar images, man. A lot, my experience storm chasing all these years is the radar images look more intense than the ground truth is. Yeah. So you'll have people tweeting out, whose dot is this? And they're right in the hook. They're going to die. Are they dead? Well, no.
There was a lot of chaser dots that I was starting to get angry.
Dots are like 15 miles wide. Like no car is that big. You know what I mean?
And the dots are large enough for you to see it on the radar.
Yeah.
And obviously they're like dozens of times smaller. Because I know
like people were
Stas is chasing. He got a lot of flack because he was near I think it was Happy, Texas, and he was right north of the tornado. And I think it crossed in front of him.
Was that the one? Was that the tweet that broke the weather drama for the day? Like we're back to zero.
It was that
weather
one.
Drama.
It was that one, and it was the Dodge City where they were just like no, where they had they had the tornadic signature, and they were like, nah, had a TDS and everything. They're like, no. They said it was
okay. Well,
they said it was elevated.
So what do you think about that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Stas's tweet. Do you think it was a hot take, or wait? Let me preface that by saying one of the safest storm chasers to ever walk the earth, Tim Samaras.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about Stas's tweet.
I would say first off that the way he responded was what instigated it in a way. Because I forget the meteorologist. I think she was from
and he can be very direct.
Michigan or something.
Yeah.
And she had heavily criticized him. And she was like, you shouldn't have been doing this. This is stupid. Because I know I was looking at radar during Happy, and there were tons of chasers. I'm like, okay, there is a strong signature. Why are you not moving? Like you would press the loop and it would go straight over the road. Nobody moved. Yeah. And then again, you got to think about these dots are super large, and obviously
they're large. And like I said, the ground truth is different than that radar scan that's elevated, showing you.
And you know what? He was probably not as close as he seemed to be. I would say, because what really instigated it was when he first tweeted it, saying that he couldn't see.
Well, there was brilliance in the tweet, and then at the same time, you're like, what is he doing?
Wonder what's in that HP? Could be a wedge.
Yeah,
let's get close.
But he, in his defense, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's aware of the storm motions. He knows. He doesn't need a phone to know what the storm's doing.
I definitely wouldn't have drove into that thing if I didn't know what it was doing.
Yeah, so
and to be honest, that was probably one of the best ways to see it. With all that rain,
Tim was also safe to no end
until the event. And there were a lot of chasers that got hit that day because it started going southwest, so it kind of caught everybody off guard.
But I don't think he was driving, so it was.
I think he was in the passenger seat because when they found the car, they had all the seats reclined back, so I'm assuming they were, hunkered down, taking shelter.
Yeah, there's the story you all know, and then there's the real story.
Then and Silver Lining Tours, they got rolled by the Lone Star EF2.
That was another interesting one.
2019. We call it the SLT method, where you're blasting to get out of it and turn around and get a view of it.
That's offensive, dude. I'm offended. You can't say that.
Cancel.
Now you can say whatever you want. Yeah, but I get it, man. But
Cancel.
man, it's controversy. It's controversy.
Yeah,
it's like,
you can't. You gotta have a certain way. You gotta give your opinion, and you gotta be wary of what other people think.
So I agree with you. I mean, maybe he defended his position a little too harshly.
Yeah,
dropping an F-bomb.
They start arguing about whose degree was highest, and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
etc.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. But I don't know that I would have gone that route.
Nah. He definitely could have handled it easier.
Okay, so what about her criticism of him? Could she have just not said anything?
She could have been.
I mean, I'm not saying she should have, because if you see bad behavior, I think you should call it out.
Yeah.
But was it bad behavior, and should she have called him out?
I would say that she should have been a little bit lighter, because the aggressiveness she came across on that tweet was kind of wild, especially because it was a thread. And the longer it became, the more aggressive she got. So I would say that's what warranted.
I think she got the last word, because I think she quoted his tweet last.
Yeah.
But
see, nowadays it's literally just having the last laugh instead of just having a normal conversation.
Yeah, but who makes the rules, man? Who says it's not okay to?
It's one of those where if the majority agrees, everybody just hops on the train.
Yeah,
because I know Reed literally drove almost into the Clarendon wedge, and nobody said a word.
His poor passing, because he's the dragon, man. Who's gonna fight the dragon? You? Are you gonna fight the dragon?
Nah, I'd sit.
I'd sit. You'll be
all
blacklisted.
the way back watching him drive into it.
His poor passenger though was like, I think we need to stop and take pictures. I don't even
think he slowed down, even with the debris going across the road.
No, man, come on, man. If you chase a hurricane is like 12 hours of that crap. You're not scared of that.
Just constant.
He freaking core-punched Gorilla Hell monster
think
storm.
Of it as
He's not
heavy
scared
rain.
of that. Yeah,
that was insane. Or he drove into it willingly and just sat there. And he
that's a shower, man.
Especially after Laura, he had no. I think he blew his back window out. He didn't have any rear view mirrors. Side mirrors were blown off. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ.
So you're talking to a guy that is now so experienced that kind of action would probably, you need that kind of action to get your adrenaline going. Otherwise, you're just like, been there.
And that brings me to another thing. As safe as, as much as people criticize other people chasing, you eventually have to take risks to see, like let's say I'm deploying in front of a large wedge and inflow jet is ripping. You have to take risks sometimes. Like sometimes I'll even think about maybe like more, like what would happen if you had somebody like Tim Samaras who just happened to be there on that storm. And if he had the opportunity to either drop into the path, deploy, get out of there, or watch it pass, you got to think about that sometimes. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like, what would people think of if I don't succeed and end up nearly getting killed trying to do something like record or something like that?
But who are you doing it for, though?
True. It kind of depends.
Because for me, it's for me.
Yeah, because if you're just trying to get footage, it's like there's a point where on one side there's either a point where you need to self-preservation, back off a little bit and take it all in, or just go all in just for you.
Yeah, actually, you mentioned
you might get some flack either way, but I mean, you're doing you. Nobody can really stop you.
Yeah.
You're not endangering anybody else's life unless you're driving on the wrong side of the road, speeding, etc.
But what if you get hurt and then first responders get involved, and instead of helping someone who actually needs help, they have to help you, and you didn't have to be there.
That's
so that would be the first argument somebody's going to throw right at you.
Because you're endangering somebody else because of decisions you made. So it's kind of like a all on you thing. Like, do I want to risk
Yeah.
this and end up having somebody else get involved and get hurt, or should I just
Well,
hang back?
that was a topic, and that actually resonated with me from a Chaser Con from a few years back. I think it was the year after the Moore, El Reno actually, and they're like, if you don't have to be out there, should you be out there? And have that be the first question that you ask yourself before you go chasing.
Because
Like,
I know there's
do I need to be out there?
a friend of mine is going chasing in Dixie Wednesday, and he lives in Memphis, and I'm like, I have mixed
Ooh, you said the
feelings
M
about
word.
it. And I'm like, oh, like, yes, you kind of are a rookie chaser, but it's like, should you risk it?
Now let's talk about the word rookie chaser. What is a rookie chaser?
I would say a rookie chaser is somebody, and it's not just somebody that doesn't have, a lot of time out in the field. I would say it's somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience and is either just starting or does not 100% know what they're doing. And if
Well, I would hope they're not chasing by not knowing what they're doing.
yeah, and if it were me, one side of me is like, oh, if you had the opportunity to go down to Dixie, yeah, you'd go down there and see some monster HP tornadoes. But it's on the other side. It's like you haven't been down there in years, and it's never been for chasing. So why risk time, money, and your life to go after something in an environment you're not familiar with? So it's kind of weird, honestly. And rookie chaser, there's certain definitions for certain people, I'd say.
So then you need a certain amount of chases to become
I wouldn't say a certain amount of chasers.
experienced.
I wouldn't say you're half right. I wouldn't say a certain amount of chasers, but a good amount of experience to know, what happens if this shifts south, or you get a satellite, or it gets wrapped in rain and you lose situational awareness, stuff like that.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's where you're ahead of the game, because I know you would analyze all that stuff and have a plan of action for those scenarios.
Wait, a lot of people think I know everything about weather. I really don't. I really don't. Like I'm still trying to interpret soundings and models and such, but it takes time.
Like,
so I'm not
I'm
complaining about it.
No, that's absolutely normal. Like, now I'm still studying what happened on Friday.
Yeah.
You're always looking at it. It's like, okay, and something that I really like is the analogs. Like when you look at the soundings, even if they are contaminated, it'll give you analogs of other storms that had those same parameters. Well, go back and look at those storms.
I know people look at analogs, and the second they see those red lines, they're like, take it out.
Yeah, forget the red lines, man. Analyze the dynamics of the day. What happened earlier, what happened even before the weather.
I saw on Twitter earlier, people were like, oh, if you're showing contaminated PDS tour soundings, don't put them on Twitter, blah blah blah. But don't just throw them out. Look at them at least. Yeah, they're contaminated.
Well, there's other information on there that is telling, and there's other information that might not be
it's like having a instruction manual that gives you examples of other things, and one thing you see, like let's say it's correct or it's wrong, you're like, I don't need it, and you just throw it away. What happens if that event is similar to another one in the future or another one in the past, and then you don't know what's going to happen because you ignored that sounding? When that event does happen, you got to go back and analyze what happened. It's weird.
That's why you have to use all the tools, all the models.
I wouldn't say throw it out. Like, look, even if they're contaminated to where you can't even see most of the information, because there are some out there. Just look at them, just study over them, even if it's a quick glance to see what's there and what's not. Like, just look at them.
So I sent you some decals because I send my guests of the live chat. You become certified major league chasing.
I actually did get them. I got them on the side of my PC here.
Yeah, you showed me a picture, but I didn't know where you actually put them.
I put one on the back and one on the side. So whenever I'm like leaning over the reach for something, I'll see it right there.
You're reminded.
I am
while
reminded
it faces the wall
of tornadoes in Major League Chasing 24/7.
Well, man, I can't wait for you to get a logo, and then I'll send you a decal of your own logo, and
Dude,
then
I
support it on my own.
Wait.
Support it on my own computer.
Somebody just sent me a Twitter picture with no context, and it's her model from 520. It says her printer go her. See,
God.
It's funny, but it's just stupid at the same time. Like, to other people, that wouldn't even be funny at all.
It would probably infuriate a lot of folks, to be honest.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, why are you making fun of it?" But it's like, you can't just be serious about this stuff all the time. Like, if you just focus on the death and destruction and affecting people, you'll go insane.
We get it, okay? We get it. It's serious. It's serious business.
Like, surprisingly, I didn't get any flack for the my first meme, April 12th, and that was maybe 10 minutes before Bassfield formed. And everybody was like, "Oh, I love it, blah, blah, blah." I was fairly surprised, but I don't even think I didn't make an August 10th one, and I didn't make a 3/28 one, ironically, because I was too focused on the day because they're affecting me. Actually, no, I think I made an August 10th one. But it's weird. You know, you got to have some positiveness about things. Like, but I would say, like I said earlier, like, if it's like a high risk, or the cursed word, like some people say, extreme risk, that's like a word, if you say it, you'll probably get canceled in the chaser community. They'll look at you like you're crazy. And like, you can ask my friends, I'll use the word EF6, extreme risk, for no reason, just because it's hilarious. And I would say there's an invisible line, which is abundantly clear yet invisible at the same time.
I know that line.
And I skirt that line quite a bit.
I'm going to skirt that line in 2 weeks.
Oh,
you just wait and see.
Yeah. April is inevitable.
Stay tuned, my friends.
April and May are inevitable.
Yeah, actually, I was going to go do this live chat from Amarillo. I was going to go. I know you know Marcus Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was going to go.
He shot a really nice video of. I think he's doing an interview with me as well. I don't even have a schedule for these interviews. I'm kind of just
for Happy Texas. Man, I swear to you, if you start one of these live chat blog thingies,
I'm thinking of live streaming.
I'll watch it, man. Yeah, dude, awesome. Yeah,
I'm gonna try to see if I can live stream Wednesday for the Dixie event. But
I'll watch it from the car, man.
I'm starting to. The more I learn, I'm starting to kind of merge my Twitter content into YouTube, so I can at least get monetized. Because I know on Twitter you can get paid, but it's like, just, you're here to enjoy my random out of context tweets and my memes that I upload at late hours in the night, and you're not here to watch a 30-second ad like YouTube. But like, when I start chasing, I'm probably gonna have chase vlogs, breakdowns, analysis, stuff like that. You know, stuff to at least keep me busy. But
well, yeah, I mean, not only it'll keep you busy, but man, there's no shortage of anybody that will come on and talk to you about it and be like, man, what happened that day?
In this kind of environment, because, you know, 30 years in the future, this stuff is going to be in the history books. Like, we're going to completely forget about it for some people.
Yeah.
And you got to at least have an analysis so people can go back and look like, oh, what was April 27th like? Because that's going to be in the yearbooks for a very long time. And I would say I'm trying to switch up how I'm trying to, you know, be unique in a way. I know one of my main inspirations is Pecos Hank. The way he kind of gives a comedic way, yet informative, and I love his cinematography. I'm trying to be a little bit like that.
What if he's not trying to be funny and we just laugh?
His personality is that way, to be honest. He's one of those where he'll talk on and on, kind of like I'm doing now. And
he's a good conversationalist.
He's a very good conversationalist.
Yeah.
And you need those kind of people in the community, to be honest.
The first time I met Pecos Hank, it was during search and rescue during the Canton tornado.
Oh, Canton 2017.
Yeah, man, crazy. And so I
I
pop
remember
up,
that.
I pop up on scene, man. I'm fucking dropped an F-bomb, but I'm driving through. I'm running through this debris field, man, and he had found a lady out there and her husband that were injured, and fire and rescue had already moved on. They didn't even
I
know
think
those
she
people
had
were there.
broke her. No, she didn't break anything. Her husband.
Her
I think
husband broke his neck.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
either his back or his neck.
his neck, and then
I know one of my friends knows this guy named Lee who lives in Yazoo City, Mississippi, and he was the guy from Storm Chasers that Reed and Joel found buried in the rubble.
Yeah,
And
Yazoo City was a monster too.
He's a really good conversationalist, and he's very interested in the weather as well. He knows soundings and such and everything. He's a really good guy to talk to.
I love it, man. He's hilarious. I have a theory on him. Yeah, I'll share it with you after the fact when it's hilarious. But
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I get on scene and I'm like, "What's going on? What are you doing? Why did you let them leave?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just got here and found these people." And then later, I'm like, telling Shannon, I'm like, "I think that was Pecos Hank."
Doing all that stuff he didn't even realize. That
Dude,
happens
man.
Sometimes.
No, because you get into
too caught up
business
in the
mode,
man.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to help those people. Nothing matters but the people. Yeah, and that was one monster wedge.
That was huge.
Yeah. Did you see his video of it? Like, he was real close to it too.
Yeah, he was extremely close. I know I think my aunt, they were driving in Canton. They live in Richardson. I think it's just outside of Dallas. And
that's south of me.
Crossed the road right in front of them. They didn't even realize it. It was HP at that point. They were in the trees. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the curtains, a rain opened up, and it was right there. As soon as it crossed the road, RFD wrapped back around, completely obscured. They couldn't even see it anymore.
No, yeah, that
crazy.
Kills everything.
And he nearly got hit by it. Because I know one of them roped out, and another one touched down, and it was a lot closer. And he had to spin around and run. I think that was the Canton one that touched down after.
Yeah, it gives me chills just thinking about it. It was an intense day. Intense day. All right, well, we've gone 16 minutes over the hour.
Dang.
So at this, man, I'm telling you, man, we can talk forever about all this stuff. So we got to have you back on. But right now, go ahead and plug all your social medias where everybody can follow you and check out your work, man, because it is brilliant and you are funny. And you have a way of putting our internal thoughts into short video clips and memes, and that's why we all enjoy your work, man, because you're one of us. You're weird like us.
Yeah, I'm pretty weird.
You're pretty weird, man. All right, so plug your
a little bit funny.
Plug your social medias. What's next for you?
Go. I'm gonna say I'm working with a big company. I'm not gonna say who, and I'm hoping that Reed is serious about that hiring thing, because that's going to support me like crazy. But that's a dream of mine.
I mean, your production value is chef's
and
kiss.
It kind of surprised me because I was like, it was that mean that wanted you to hire me, like I liked the way I made it, but it was like, like when I put them out, I kind of like, as an editor, it kind of annoys me because you see small details. But
well, imagine if you like raised the bar for yourself really ridiculously high and you produced an episode of something.
Yeah,
I'm excited. This is what gets me excited about knowing you. Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of socials. Follow
Just
me
your
on Twitter, JohnsonWx, or this is pretty funny. 225 mile an hour EF4. I think it was either somebody had misspelled it on the DAT, on the damage assessment toolkit, and that's how I got it.
Huh.
And on Twitch, I'll be streaming when Outbreak releases because I've heard that's gonna be really good. Johnson TV was taken because it was. Johnson TV on YouTube and JohnsonWx on YouTube as well. I think that's it, to be honest. I don't really have anything else. I do have a separate account on Twitter, but that's just for me.
Well, you already broke 1,000. Who knows where you'll be at by
I did.
by next year.
That surprised me.
Yeah, but I don't know. When you have stuff that makes people laugh,
I never thought I'd have such a big influence like I do here.
It's like that's an instant follow for me. It's like forget all this other sour stuff. Forget all the politics.
Yeah.
If you can brighten my day for even the 10 seconds that I looked at your funny content, man, you've done your job. So.
Sometimes I'll look at the big people that follow me, and I'm like, wow, y'all really like this stuff? Then I look at it as a secondary person's perspective, and it's unique. So I understand.
Yeah. So I hope this is gonna age very well, man. We're gonna look back on this and be like,
I'm gonna be getting blown around by 80-mile-an-hour RFB in the middle of Oklahoma somewhere.
Yeah, and then you'll reference this and be like, I hadn't even gone chasing something that intense. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into.
And I'll remember as I'm backing up from a wedge, I'll be like, remember the time where I said I'd stay back and be safe? Nah.
And you'll get my turtle reference. You will understand why I wanted a turtle on there.
I thought about it. I have it on my I had the picture I was going to use, and I completely forgot.
It's all right, man. No worries. All right. So at this point, I'm going to cut everybody off. And then you and I will have something that I like to call tea time. And we'll have our little closing conversations, and I'll give you all the tea that I got.
The tea.
And so, but thank you, man. I really appreciate you for being on and supporting me. Just like, I'm green and I'm growing with this thing too. I'm trying not to quit on it every Monday. Yeah. Every Monday I want to quit so bad. No, I'm just kidding. I love it, man.
Being consistent is where it works.
Yeah, I just love talking to everybody. I mean, behind the scenes, you talk to people. You're always constantly communicating with somebody on the social media, and it's just I like to kind of share those conversations fluidly and as organically as I can through these live chats. So
yeah, I try to communicate with people like I see in my replies and such as much as possible. So that's really where it gets, interact with the community, be consistent, because the consistency is really where you get successful. So I'm excited to see where that goes. And I've only been on here. I joined in 2018, didn't really use it. And in less than a year, I've gained over 1,000. I'd say my Twitter account is probably one of the proudest things I've done so far. And
imagine those accounts with like 400,000. Like, how do we get there?
That'll be very exciting.
Yes, absolutely. Well, man, it was a pleasure. Good night, everyone. Join us next Monday. I believe Corey Ecton will be my guest from Lone Star Storm Chasers that Monday. And until then, I will see you guys out on the road.
Peace. Never stop chasing.